Welcome back to another edition of the Seed Talk podcast. I'm your host, Sterling Mack. Trying to light down a little bit. Good to see you. I figured I'd go live here before Game 5, talk a little bit. Talk hard. I mean, there's so much to say, I feel like, with Harden and everything, but wanted to do that quickly and get this out here. As you know, I like to go live just because it'll cut faster. So I want to start with this actually. Let's share my screen because I don't know. I don't know how you all kind of feel right now, right? But I feel like I said something on Threads, right? So I played this. I don't know if it's going to play, but right, this is I think it's game 6, right, of the 98 finals. And it's just a slower pace of a game. That is how they play basketball, right? That's kind of slowed down there. Scotty's kind of hurting his back. He hurts his back on the dunk there. But listen, we walked the ball up the floor. We ran plays, which I love. And I'm going to talk about that with James Harden a little bit. That was terrible by Karl Malone there. It's just different. We played a different game, and that's okay. It's okay that we played a different game. I think now, especially if we're about to watch Game 5, like they get up and down so fast. Their ability to push pace, but again, the fact. Look at how like where the play starts. Jordan's taking that from just off of the elbow there. Like that used to be a good shot. I think it's still a good shot personally, but now everything starts 3-4 feet behind the 3-point line. You have to from a defensive perspective, like Ron Harper didn't really do anything there, right? He jumps to the ball. Stockton kind of like has a half-ass back cut. He bumps him with his shoulder, and then the ball's shot. Like you're not moving, right? Look at this, like Hornacek or who is that? Like there, right? Like you're just not doing as much. And I know we have nostalgia for the '90s, and I love the '90s too, man. I'm a '90s kid. Like don't y'all coming at me in the comments and everything. It's all good, but it's also okay to recognize this, not just like the skill that it takes to play now, because everybody's got to be able to shoot and handle it and do something, right? Like it's rare. Like that's why Hardenstein can't really be on the floor all the time if he's not like grabbing Wemby or doing those type of things, because he's got to be able to pull Wemby away from the floor with his shot making. You see it in most games, like everyone can handle and do these things. Like when you're looking at the 98 Bulls, like Luke Longley, he had a little 13, 12-footer, little back down game. Well, he couldn't play in today's game. And obviously he would learn differently to adapt. And but look at this. Like we're not moving. We got a little brush screen. Jordan, that's pretty bad defense, actually. They ran that like Princeton offense, right? Which you don't really see in today's game. Again, I'm actually going to get to that because I do find the fact that we don't do some of that sometimes, the variability in the playoffs, like with what the Knicks have done, is interesting that some coaches have not adjusted to that. But that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to start there. Since y'all are coming at your boy. Let's talk that Knicks Cavs series quickly. I'm going to start in the good because I think Mike Brown deserves so much credit. And I kind of just said it there, right? Like when we watch 90s films, I think part of what gets nostalgic is that you see these plays. Again, the Princeton offense or the motion offense, everyone used to run that, flex, all those type of things. Now we don't see that as much, right? I think there's some basic concepts that sometimes kind of start a play, and Iverson cut is still used in terms of you kind of trying to get people loose, or like a pin, like a pretty simple kind of pin down, or like a 45 at the top. But outside of that, like a lot of it is just like playing in space and with pace and allowing your best athletes to dominate the ball, which has really worked, right? I think like the Celtics did that. If you look at like what the Nuggets do, like it's not honestly, and I think that's why they're starting to struggle a little bit as they're getting older. It's not complicated, right? They play a 2-man game. They get Jokic and Murray in advantageous situations, starting at the 3-point line, and they kind of walk their man down, and then they just kind of play off of each other. And then when the double happens, they kick the ball to the right person. It's pretty simple basketball. What the Knicks and what Mike Brown was able to do after the Hawks take the 2-1 lead is essentially say, hey, like, in order for us to win this series, you guys either need to buy in or we're all, I'm sure he was probably like, we're all going to be gone, right? And what he had been trying to get them to buy in and get Cat to buy into all season long was like, you are a star. You're going to get your numbers at some point. The regular season's so different. But right now, like in these 16 to go win 16 games for us, we need you to be able to facilitate our offense. And to be honest, what they run is motion. They run like a high school offense. And I don't mean that to be disparaging to Mike Brown. It's just conceptual, right? Like you can say the UCLA offense or whatever you want to call it, but all they're doing is starting a guy at the block. That's why the Cavs went to zone the last couple of games, to try to like to slow down what they were doing from a motion offense perspective, which was pretty smart by Atkinson. But like what Towns brings you at the top of the key is that ability to like one, see over the defense. He can also shoot it, right? So then as a defender, you have to be close enough to him to now where he can even drive, put it on the deck. Like there's the offense becomes, to be honest, like the Knicks offense runs like it's so seamless with Cat being kind of the focal point as more of a playmaker than a scorer, all because of all the things that he can do. Then you just add in a pretty simple wrinkle where you're just having guys all on the wings when the ball is at the top of the key or kind of opposite on the key, if you think about it like that way, right? Like because we ran the motion offense, so we would have like different slots for guys. So it's like when the ball goes opposite, now you're going to set that screen off of the block or come up and set. You saw that screen just now with like Malone and Hornacek, very similar, right? Where you're just kind of dictating as the ball goes opposite. Now you're going to go screen away. Super simple basketball, right? But because we don't do that anymore, like take the Sixers series. I mean, the Knicks were getting wide open layups time after time just off a very simple motion pick and pick, like on like off ball pick, right? Then again, like when they want to go 5 out and let Brunson kind of dominate the ball, you also got a guy that can just go get you a bucket, right? And then Bridges started to get it going. Josh Hart had a couple games where he shot it really well. Shamet off the bench, McBride off the bench. I mean, they just started just playing out of their minds. So shout out to them. And then on conversely, right, what do we do with Harden? I just got some notes for myself. Let me read something here. All right. I think what is difficult with James Harden is I don't know what, like, if I was a point guard, this is where I think I get a little, actually, I think this is where I get a little, like, conflated or confused on, like, what basketball, what is winning basketball, right? Because on one side, if you play some way, James Harden has played the same style, the same way for a very long time and has been very successful at it, right? But then you get to the playoffs, and obviously they don't call some of the bullshit fouls or some of all the flopping that he does. They cut down on like his ability to maybe take an extra step with that step back. So now like he's not getting the same space that he's typically getting maybe in the regular season, which again I feel like is weird. Like why not call it travel in the regular season and call it now? Why allow guys to be physical with him now, not be physical in the regular season? Again, these questions I feel like Adam needs to figure out. But this series required James to be like Chris Paul, right? to score in the mid range and maybe hit like a timely three here or there, but to essentially get guys and really Mobley and Allen to play off of each other, and to make them effective because that's where their advantage was, right? Mitchell and Harden. Mitchell was going to score, probably not very efficiently, right? Just OG and Bridges and Hart are just really good defensively. And even when like Shamet and McBride come in, don't have the same size, but like they're pretty good defenders. Like they're going to stay in front of you. They're going to challenge you. Where the Cavs had an advantage, and again, I just talked about like that motion offense or like a something, some sort of variable, right? Was the big to big ability between Allen and Mobley. And you saw it a couple times, like even in game 4 where they got the ball, they like ran kind of like just an impromptu kind of high-low, scored so easily, and you're like, they could do that all the time. The issue, and I guess you could kind of throw Mitchell in this too, is like, man, like I get it, you play a certain way all season, you're the focal point, you're the star. But shouldn't you figure out, like, okay, like this series, it maybe isn't for me, right? Maybe if I get Brunson on me, that's an advantage, or I can walk him down to the post or something, which I feel like Mitchell nor Harden did. But what we could do is we could make Brunson chase, right? When Sam Merrill's in or Strus is in, just run Iverson cuts and like long, like make him trail and tail and get him super tired and just kind of be that point guard to kind of direct the traffic a little bit, right? And then, like their guy is Towns. If we're able to get him off of the floor, then we've got Mitchell Robinson in the game. He's not the same offensive player. We can foul him if he gets an offensive rebound. It changes everything. Oh, like how do we go after that? Okay, how do we get Allen and Mobley in different actions? And I get that's also coaching, but I feel like my 17-year point guard could also do that, right? I don't know. I have such a hard time with Harden because clearly one of the more talented guys we've ever had in the league. For me, comes with an asterisk. When you do all that to like get to the free throw line or all the I don't say antics, but like all the bullshit, right? Like, you know, like the stuff with his arms as he like flails into the lane. Again, the extra step on the step back for a while was like just like that's a travel. I mean, guys were guarding him with their hands behind their back, right? And you're just like, this is like, what are we doing? And then to see not being able to have that success in the playoffs, you're just like, well, what is that? What is that as like a player profile? I don't know, to be honest with you, but it seems like the Cavs are going to run that back, which is super interesting. Or maybe they're just doing it to slot Harden in to trade him for LeBron. So we'll see. All right, I went a little long there. Let's get to Game 5 because I got a couple of thoughts here. Like I said, I got a little data. Take that for data. Yeah, I think the thing here with OKC and the Spurs is obviously the physicality. We're going to see how they're going to call it. I think they're going to call it kind of tight here at the beginning of the game, and we'll see, how much OKC and the Spurs are going to try to get away with. I mean, Castle's been super physical with Shai. I thought they didn't allow the physicality on Wemby as much, and then Wemby, I thought, found a way to kind of get himself into pockets so that guys couldn't really it's easier to hold him under the basket, right? So he was kind of waiting and kind of using Castle and Fox makes such a big difference. Those guys being able to hold their dribble a little bit longer allows Wemby to kind of like play with the gravity a little bit. That way he's not coming under the basket. When that happens, I think guys can just grab him and it's hard to see. But when you're still kind of out in the open or kind of about the free throw line, it's a lot harder. And then when you're able to trail the play, get a dunk, things like that, I mean, Wemby's just unstoppable. The thing that is interesting here, right, is like Shai's on-off numbers are pretty bad. I don't know what that means. And I'm not just saying like this series. This series I think is weird because he's tied to Wemby. Like he's playing at the same time Wemby's playing. And I bet that's going to be an adjustment is that Shai plays more during those Cornet minutes. but he's a minus 35 in his net on-off rating in this playoffs. I mean, they are just objectively playing better without him on the floor. Mitchell, like in the Lakers series, big like proponent of that. Like when Shai came off, it felt like it was Mitchell's time, and they just felt like they flourished. Maybe I think LeBron was off during those times as well. The Sun series is tough to kind of even really decipher, right? They're just so much better than that team. But it's interesting the on-off numbers again. He has not shot it well either. Oh, excuse me. Hasn't shot it well this series. Hasn't really shot it well outside of a couple games, like the Suns. One of the Suns games, one of the Lakers games, he shot it well. Outside of that, he really has not done so. And so that'll be, I think, the question, right? Does he try to flop his way to the free throw line? Does he just try to shoot his way into like a rhythm? We'll see. On the flip side, the Spurs, I wonder, like if the game is called tight, let's say Wemby has a foul or two, I keep asking, like, who do they go to, like a Plumlee? Do they go to, they went to Carter Bryant a couple times. He had a rough game 4 just defensively and some bad fouls, missed some open threes. So do they go small again? I think that's going to be like, those are really the big questions. Like, can Shai do this offensively by himself because Chet's not giving you anything? So can Dagnall like draw up some stuff to get Chet going early? And can Shai get himself going early? He's obviously seeing kind of 1.5 right now. They're kind of stunting a little bit more. They're not coming with a true double. Is he just going to like put his head down and be like, I'm just going to go through this and see what happens and try to maybe, get himself to the line? And then, I think for Chet, man, I know he doesn't like, I know it feels like such a millennial thing. Be like, oh, just go post. He's not a post-up guy. But I feel like mid-post is comfortable for him. And, if you got like Champagnie on you to start the game, what? I kind of don't get like, why not, right? Why not just go kind of run a little. I think about this all the time. Like, some guys hate the triangle, but it's like, man, you use the triangle kind of principles with like a shooter in the corner, shooter opposite, point guard at the top, a little motion depending on where the ball moves. Like, so simple. You know what I mean? And I feel like that would unlock Chet a little bit, just because once the movement happens, everyone's got to clear out. So now Chet can really kind of go one-on-one. But that's me there. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think this is going to be interesting. What happens today? Again, those on-off numbers are crazy, and if they continue, I think OKC is in trouble, because I think Shai's got to either he's got to play like he's got to LeBron this and play like 48 minutes or something like that, or he's got to be crazy efficient, getting to the line, getting to his spots, and really figuring out that Spurs defense. So I'm excited to see it. I don't know who's going to win. I actually think he is going to figure it out. I think OKC wins tonight, actually. Yeah. Why, I don't know. But I think OKC wins tonight, and I think Shai figures out that like 1.5 double. I think he's able to figure out how to get to his spaces. I think Wemby's still going to have a good game. I think they're going to, like I said, I think they're going to call some early fouls. They're going to try to keep the physicality down, I think. But we'll see. That's all I got today. I just wanted to get a little quick blurb out here for Game 5. Talk Harden. Continue to follow us at the Seed Talk Podcast anywhere on your socials, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all the things. Continue to follow me at SteveMac, Threads, Twitter, Instagram. We've got a few podcast interviews coming up with some founders. Really excited about those. So you'll see those for early June. You'll see some content from us with some of the emerging leagues that we've worked with as well. You'll continue to kind of see some of those cuts or some of the behind the scenes things So like I said, just continue to follow Sea Talk Podcast and myself at @StMac. So we'll see you on the next edition of the Sea Talk Podcast. We appreciate you. Continue to rate, subscribe. We'll see you next week.